Thank you. Have you ever come across an idea, a concept, so genius, so in your face, smack you over the head obvious, you feel like the dumbest person in the world for not coming up with it first? That's how I felt when I read the description for The One by John Mars. How far would you go to find the one? One simple mouth swab is all it takes. A quick DNA test to find your perfect partner. The one you're genetically made for. A decade after scientists discovered everyone has a gene they share with just one other person. Millions have taken the test, desperate to find true love. Now, 5 more people meet their match. But even soulmates have secrets, and some are more shocking and deadlier than others.
Twat.
That was my attempt at a British accent. I'll be leaving now. Crossmatch.com with 23andMe, and you basically have the umbrella concept for the one. In a world where at-home testing kits are becoming more and more popular, this idea is actually not too far from reality, other than the genetically made for each other bit. Sending your DNA off to a lab so you can learn more about yourself is not a far reach. People do it every day, not only for things like 23andMe, but other health-related issues such as STD tests, colon cancer screenings, allergy tests, and even at-home COVID-19 tests are being more widely used as an alternative to seeing a physician in person. But this isn't an ad for at-home testing, though this whole book could be. I will say when I started listening to this novel on Audible,
Like they're reading your mind.
I expected to learn more about the science behind the concept, since I love me some science. Mars goes over this briefly, describing the Match Your DNA test exactly as the title presumes. Your DNA is matched to one other person in the world, just one, by a shared gene, and that person is who you're matched with genetically. It appears that this match is indiscriminate of gender, age, ethnicity, sexual orientation, religious background, economic status, or pre-existing conditions. Spoiler oof. I did find some questionable issues here. Like, what if you're matched with a relative? Ugh. An ancient elven queen? A rapist? Or even worse?
A child.
A child. Do you just go full Jacob and wait patiently by wagging your tail while the child grows up into a hot vamp teen in the span of 7 years? My age is showing. That's actually coming soon. Midnight Sun. Oh god.
It's in 6 months.
I know, but I rewatched it and it was actually 7 years. I thought it was 6 months. What if you're matched with a serial killer, an already dead person, or a terminally ill person? What if you're catfished? What if you've been straight your whole life and you're matched with someone of the same sex? I mean, try it out. All of these scenarios are discussed in the book by the accounts of 5 specific characters we follow throughout their matched journeys. Like always, I'll try to stay away from spoilers. If you want the story, you know, read the book. Let's start by giving a moment of respect for author John Mars. Good on you for coming up with such an ingenious idea and bringing it to life with such eloquence and suspense. Yes, I said suspense! Although this is a novel about finding your soulmate, I did on many occasions gasp very loudly and dramatically while listening to the audiobook. Because I'm dramatic. I binged this story as I do all of the books. You know, it doesn't take me very long to finish one. I had 2 days off and decided to just listen nonstop for 11 hours straight to the 5 different narrators and their hypnotic accents. I also really enjoyed the layout Mars adopted for these 5 stories. They're independent of one another, but are all equally intriguing. It reminded me of those I Survived episodes. You know, they tell you a little of each story here and there before commercial breaks to keep you tuned in for more. Strategic. Great, very frustrating, but it works. The concept also brings forth social and political discussions. Couples who are already married decided to take the test and find out they aren't matched with one another. Shocker. Therefore, divorce rates go up. However, matched couples who do get married stay married, have better credit scores, better jobs, better lives, and live longer because they're happier overall. It's truly a very enthralling concept to think about. The characters we follow throughout these 5 stories are Mandy, Jade, Christopher, Nick, and Ellie. Honestly, I don't know which story was my favorite. They were all just as twisty-turny, filled with tension and what moments, as I listened for hours. If I had to choose though, Christopher's story was more close to my preferred genre. Nonetheless, each one shined on their own, and I can't wait to read more from Mars. If you do intend on reading this novel and don't want spoilers, skip ahead. If you're someone that likes to know all the details before committing to a story, please continue watching. I'll start with Christopher, the serial killer, who is matched with a police officer. After using dating apps as his MO to find new victims, he decides to take the test and find his own match. Come to find, he actually falls in love with her and realizes that psychopaths can too find love. Aww. Their ending is bittersweet and satisfying as a reader. No loose ends, clean break. Mandy's beginning was a little rocky at first as she crashes her match, Richard's funeral. What? Her story revolves mostly around her new relationship with her match's family and their desire to continue Richard's legacy through a child. And I'll leave it at that. Nick's story is all sad, much depressed, but ending yay. Nick is a straight man engaged to a woman that loves him. As, you know, they do. They decide to get tested before tying the knot as a precaution as well as a sense of security that they're making the right decision. When Nick is matched with a man, they suspect a mistake, but no mistake. His match, Alex, is also a straight man with a girlfriend, but all the same, they can't deny science.
Take that, church.
Jade is a young woman whose match happens to be in a whole different country. She travels to her match's farm to find he looks far less healthy than his photos. Come to find he's terminally ill and has been lying to her. Their relationship flourishes, but not in a mutual way. She finds herself more attracted to someone else who's very close by. Last but not least, we have Ellie. This story is the one that actually has an impact on all the rest, while the others stay relatively independent. Big spoiler here, Ellie is the discoverer of the Match Your DNA gene and becomes founder of the company. She's the scientist behind the whole craze and is at times blamed for people's unhappiness as well as praised for some people's happiness. Because, you can't make everybody happy. When she finally decides to find her own match, the relationship seems easy at first. A little too easy. While reading, I thought it was just too good to be true. Almost boring in the beginning, but then secrets creep from within the shadows and true identities are revealed, disrupting the entire fabric of belief behind the gene itself. Through these stories, we learn that finding your match doesn't guarantee a happily ever after. Some people, sure, but for others, knowing that the one person you're matched with is a serial killer or a dead man can definitely put a stone in your helplessly romantic shoe. The spin in the end puts everything we've learned into question, making it quite open-ended actually. If you were told someone was your match, backed by science, would you believe it into existence even if it weren't true? Can love actually be a giant placebo pill some can swallow every morning and fool themselves into believing? Another reason this novel popped out at me was its coming to Netflix sticker on the cover. What? Oh shit. I cannot wait to see these 5 stories come to the Netflix screen as a 10-episode series, and honestly, I think it would hit the top spot in no time, especially if it's reviewed on TikTok. If you want more by John Mars, because I certainly do, he has a number of other titles under his belt, including The Passengers and What Lies Between Us, which actually came out in May of this year. Because, he probably had time. Well, that's all for today. Like this video if you liked it, and subscribe for more reviews to come. John Mars will definitely be making a comeback here soon. If you would like to read or listen to The One, links to the Kindle version, audio version, hard copy, blah, 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 are all available down below. Stay lost. Keep reading. I'm off to go get tested and see if Pablo and I are a match, which I know we would be because we're engaged. Yep, he liked this, so he put a ring on it, and I agreed to wear that ring for evers and evers. I shall leave you with a quote from the book. Maybe when you took it back to basics, that's what love really was. Just being there for someone when the sun rises and sets. You be there for me, Pablo? Yeah? Yeah? Okay, me too. Okay, bye!
Is this just gonna be your thing?
Yes.
Happy.
Yes, thank you.
A single strand of hair is all it takes to be matched with the one person that you are genetically guaranteed to fall in love with.